So he's just having that final, he gets his 40-second inspection time. There we go, there's into focus.
Looked really strong in Chamonix, where he won.
Did just it slipped off in semi-finals in Vila. Didn't quite make the final. Got a question here on Twitter as we watch Domen set off. Hashtag IFSCWC if you'd like to get in touch. Question from Twitter, Kev Edwards. He wants to know, what does Natalie think about the future of British lead climbing? Do we have a Shauna Coxey of the Lead World Cup waiting in the wings?
I think.
Feel free to say, I'm the Shauna Coxey waiting in the wings.
I think we certainly do. I think it just needs a bit more infrastructure, a bit more money. I think also facilities. I think the transition from junior to senior is really hard. You've got a lot of really strong juniors, but then when it comes to senior level, you've got that awkward transition period when you've got, you know, university, school, exams, other things going on in your life, and I think that's really hard to manage. And I think it's especially hard to manage in the UK, where we've got quite a different kind of working lifestyle to the continent. Maybe we've not got as many professional climbers.
Well, we'll resume in just 1 second. We believe we've got Sean McCall available to speak to us. Sean, are you there?
I'm here. Hey guys. Don't know if the camera's working, but I'm here.
The camera is working. We can see you. Enough of that. This final here in Briançon, it was quite heavily delayed for you. How does that affect you, that waiting?
It's really hard for all the competitors, not even me specifically, but all the competitors. It's hard. We had initially at a 9 o'clock start time. I think we started at 10:30. It's hard just to get psyched. I mean, before it was just raining cats and dogs, and they're saying, oh, maybe it'll dry off, maybe it'll stop, we'll go up, we'll dry it out, and you know, we're sitting there for an hour and a half. Then they come back, they say it's wet enough that it's dry enough that we're gonna dry it, it'll be okay. And then we're kind of like, well, is it actually dry enough? Or are they just anticipating it'll be dry enough? Eventually, we came up for the preview. It looked pretty dry. The wall was a little bit humid. You noticed it a little bit on the slopers, but overall there wasn't a single wet hold, so I'm really excited about that. But yeah, that's for the wetness.
And did you have an idea when you came out how far the leader had got?
I try to not pay attention to that kind of stuff, but from how long Romain was climbing, and then I heard when I walked out that he was in the lead, I knew he had gotten up into that upper panel, so past the kind of dong-like feature. I knew he got somewhere up into the traverse. When I fell, I got a lot back on the rest, and I wasn't really pumped when I fell, which is unfortunate because I was so surprised that the rows actually worked that I got ahead of myself, and then I was like, oh no, the next one's super big. I look up and I'm like, okay, yeah, I got my feet in the right spot, and then I really went for it, and it was actually one of those holds where it's not in the back of the hold, it's about this far out, and so I missed it. I hit it, but I missed it, and I almost stuck it even with the little double clutch, and then I was sailing, and but I'm super happy with second place. But yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say you've done enough to guarantee a place on the podium. Provisional second. Congratulations, another great World Cup from you. Thanks for talking to us.
All right, thanks for the questions. I'll see you guys.
Great to hear from Sean as ever, as we watch Domen get himself into the rest position. Hopefully he'll take a bit of breather. Natalie, we're talking about the next British Shauna Coxey in the lead.
Yep, as I was saying, I think it needs a bit more infrastructure, a bit more kind of support, and I think as soon as you get that, I think Shauna's winning and doing well in the bouldering will definitely help, get more people interested in climbing, and I think that'll affect British climbing generally. I think that'll have a really positive impact. But yeah, I think it is quite hard living in the UK, and we don't have the same facilities that a lot of the climbers abroad have. We don't have large groups of climbers in one specific area congregating, focusing on leads. So we'll give it some time, I think. Hopefully in the future we'll have lead World Cup finalists and podium makers.
We mustn't be too greedy. Shauna Coxey has already won the overall title in the bouldering as Brits. Not that I have any bias to Britain, I might add, but supporters of British climbers. Yeah, we've already got a winner in the Boulder World Cups. But good question, thank you Kev for the question. Hashtag IFSCWC on Twitter if you have a question of your own. So, Domen Skofic, we've barely mentioned him in between asking Natalie some interesting questions off Twitter and talking to Sean McCall, but Domen, very low key, made his way onto this upper wall. So he's probably, this is, if he makes this move here, it'll be enough for third. There it is. So I think Gutierrez Upper slipped off on that move. So Domen's onto the podium. So are we about to see our first top here? Domen Skofic. No. He waves to the crowd. Looks a bit disappointed. Be interesting. I think that's at least, well, it's certainly enough for third. We shall see where that puts him. So our podium will be Romain Negron.